Well, hello. Um, I hope that you can obviously watch this video, okay? The idea is I'm going to send you a WhatsApp with the two videos to watch. This is something that you have to do. Watch the two videos I'm going to send you by WhatsApp. But I would like you to copy this, what we are going to do today in this class, in your notebook. The idea is that I remember that last year we finished talking about would prefer, would rather. That more or less is the same idea. I can say, I'm going to read from the book, I can say, would you rather take a course in history or geography, right? And you can say, I'd rather take a course, for example, thinking about history, okay? I'd rather take history, okay? But if you say prefer, you have to say, I prefer to take history. I'd rather take history. I prefer to take history. And you can say, I'd rather not take geography. I'd rather not take geography. Or you can say, I prefer not to take geography. These are the negative sentences, right? I'd rather not take, but if you prefer to say prefer, say I prefer not to take. Well, this explanation is given in one of the videos I am going to send you via WhatsApp, okay? It's only a review. That's the reason that why I'm doing this way today, okay? But you have to remember that. Yes? Well, number two, um, something important is, because it's very important to use these ideas, is to use the verb, when we talk about something, use what? By and the gerund. What is by a gerund? For example, say by reading, by cooking, by playing, by dancing, by listening, by watching, by climbing, by driving, right? Well, in order what? In order to describe, for which reason we are going to use a sentence with by playing, by cooking, by singing. Well, to describe how to do things. To describe how to do things. Okay? So, we're going to use sentences. For example, saying by an adjective to describe how to do things. So, what happens if you have to complete some sentences, right? Remember that you have to copy this in your notebook. Well, my question is, what is something that you can do to improve your accent? Thinking about studying English, what can you do to improve your accent? So the sentence, the first one you have to copy is, you can improve your accent. You can improve your accent. And what do you think? We are going to continue the sentence. By doing something. You can improve your accent by doing something. Accent is not to be fluent, is not the possibility to understand, is the possibility to speak with the correct American accent. So the idea is, what can I do to improve my accent? And I can answer that question saying, you can improve your accent by talking, by watching, by talking to other people or talking to yourself in the mirror, by listening and by repeating, by imitating. Understand? So today you are going to copy the sentence and try to complete with your own idea. I'm going to give you an idea, but I'm not going to write. Next class, on a Monday, we are going to read the sentence. I'm going to read my sentence, and we're going to share our sentence. Okay? Sentence number 2. The sentence you have to complete is a good way. Think about a good way to do what? To learn idioms is by, what is an idiom? Number 2 is a good way to learn idioms is by, I'm going to tell you what is an idiom. What happens if I tell you this morning, I got a telephone call, and there was a person wanted to talk to me in a bad mood, a very impatient girl, right? The person was very stressed, maybe depressed. Everything was negative. The conversation was negative. So I can tell you now, from that experience that I lived, I can tell you, this morning, a person, right, drove me crazy. The person who called me this morning, very early in the morning, drove me crazy. So what is the meaning of this idiom? Drive someone crazy. Drive someone crazy. This is an idiom. What is this? An idiomatic expression. I can say that this morning someone irritated me. Someone irritated me. But instead of irritated, I can say someone drove me crazy. Understand? Yes. Another idiom to more or less with the same meaning. Get on someone's nerves. Pay attention to this second idiom. Get on someone's nerves. What is this? What they say? Again, this morning, someone called me, someone spoke to me, told me completely, how can I say, I felt very uncomfortable. The person was rude to me, yes, and I didn't understand why. So that person this morning in the past got on my nerves. The person this morning, someone got on my nerves. Suppose the person is, I don't know, a woman, I don't know, Susan. Susan always, maybe, Susan always gets on my nerves. Susan gets on my nerves. This morning, Susan got on my nerves. So, get on someone's nerves. What's the meaning of this? It's similar to drive me crazy, right? Irritated, makes me feel uncomfortable. make me feel, what can I say, stressed, made me feel angry. So idioms are idiomatic expressions. So in your opinion, think, where can you learn idioms? For example, drive someone crazy. For example, get on someone's nerves. So the sentence you have to complete using by and a gerund. The sentence is, a good way to learn idioms is by, what's your opinion? Is by doing what? By reading, maybe magazines in English, by studying from a grammar book, by talking to people, by talking to native speakers, by going to classes, by joining conversations with friends around the world. So choose one idea, you complete, and next class we talk about it. Number 3, students, the sentence is this, students can become, students can become better writers. Better writers. I think that you always find, I don't know if it is difficult, I don't know if it is that you don't have ideas how to express yourself, but this is something that happens to students, that they find difficult to write. So students can become better writers by doing what? Students can become better writers by, well, think, how can you become a better writer? By watching videos, by reading, by, how can I say, by making an effort to concentrate and find ideas, by, I don't know, by having a teacher, by going to classes, by asking other people, other students for help, by reading, by listening, by watching videos. You write your opinion. Number 4, a good way, pay attention, a good way, similar to number 2, the same beginning, a good way. A good way, but a good way to do what? A good way to learn new vocabulary. A good way to learn new vocabulary is, again, is by doing something. So a good way to learn new vocabulary is by, remember that vocabulary, every time, for example, we have to do a reading comprehension, every time we read an article, piece of information, it's like we always have to underline one word, two words, an expression, yes, 2, 3, 4, 5, depending how long the article is. We have to underline and we have to do what? To use a dictionary. You can say a translator. It doesn't matter what you prefer. But the idea is that we need, sometimes it's possible to understand the whole meaning of an article, but we don't have to tell lies to ourselves. We know that when we read something, many times we understand that we know that, I know that this word, I don't know the meaning, this other, I don't have any idea what is it, this other one, I don't have any idea of the pronunciation, for example, so I can invent, but would be a good idea to use, for example, talking about the pronunciation, the translator write the word and listen to the word. So from that moment on, you are going to pronounce correctly. Yes. So, what is a good way? A good way to learn new vocabulary is by writing, by reading, by watching, by maybe watching films, maybe by listening to songs. I don't know, it's up to you. You write your opinion. Number 5, people in general, but remember that the topic is learning a new language. So people can become, faster readers. I don't know how fast you can read. Faster readers. I don't have an idea if you can read very fast. Not only talking about English, Spanish too. Yes. So it's completely how can I say? It's completely wonderful when you listen to a child or a teenager. He or she is reading something, and the person reads fluently without making so many pauses when they are trying to read something. Okay, so people can become faster readers by doing what? What's your opinion? If you are not a fast reader, if you find difficult to connect the words, how can you improve that? Do you think that you can improve that by writing? I don't think so. By listening to doesn't matter what, I don't know. By practicing, that's a good point of view. Yeah, that's a good point. But you can use your imagination next class. Remember, we are going to complete this one to talk about it. Number 6, one way, pay attention, one way of practicing conversation, of practicing, one way of practicing what? Conversation. Conversation. So one way of practicing conversation is by, one way of practicing conversation is by practicing conversation. What is one way? There are many ways. Can I say another way is this, is by doing this, another way is by doing this, but what is one way of practicing conversation? Is by going to a class, practicing conversation. One way of practicing is by having friends and who can speak, for example, English, and have the possibility to talk to them, because conversation, yes, conversation, everyday conversation about different topics on the streets, at the high school, maybe online, but you can have conversation with many people. So one way of practicing conversation maybe is by role playing. So part A, part B, this is a dialogue. Okay, let's go to read, let's go to practice conversation. I'm going to take role A and you're going to read role B. So we practice the conversation, yeah? Well, I don't know, it's up to you. There are different options. One way of practicing conversation is by, and you complete. Number 7, you can learn to use grammar correctly. You can learn to use grammar, but to use grammar is correctly. So you can learn to use grammar correctly by doing what? you can learn to use grammar correctly by, you can learn to use grammar correctly by reading books, by reading grammar books, by doing homework. If you pay attention, when you are for homework, there is a listening comprehension, doesn't have to do anything with grammar. When a homework is, for example, writing about something, doesn't do nothing to do with grammar. But many times, homework is concentrated on what? Completing exercises, complete incomplete sentences, try to use the correct tense, if the present perfect, the past, of grammar, adjectives, to use the correct, for example, prepositions. So this is grammar. Yes, to talk. I don't know if it is completely necessary to be an expert talking about grammar, but you can learn to use grammar correctly by maybe doing homework. Understand? Well, so these 7 sentences from number 1 to number 7 is something that you are going to do for homework for next class. So you are going to copy the sentences, right? And you are going to complete these sentences, and next class we're going to share our opinion, okay? Well, remember that I'm going to send now, at the end of this class, I'm going to send this video, I'm going to send 2 more videos, and I hope that you can watch them all, okay? Watch and listen, watch and listen. And remember, the more you listen, the more fluent you are gonna be. The faster you are gonna learn how to speak, right? So listening is essential for you for now on. The more you listen, the better, right? So this year, I'm going to start insisting. I'm going to insist that you have to listen to videos, to listen to songs, to listen to whatever you want to listen. Yes, it's like you have to use, how can I say in English, in Spanish, I mean, in Italian, tempi morti. In English, when you are, what is tempi morti? Tempi morti is when you maybe are cooking or making your breakfast. Maybe you are washing your hair. Maybe you are I don't know, making your bed. And what happened? You can spend this time that you are doing only making your bed. But if you listen, maybe you, without paying attention, the more you listen, the more fluent you are going to be. Remember this, okay? Well, on Monday, we're going to have the classes at the same time as always, right? Okay? Well, I'm going to stop it now.